3, 2, 1, let's go. What up, everybody? It's your boy Ricky Rick, and your boy Ricky Rick is back with another Ricky Talk. And today is May 17, 2021. And in case you didn't know, now you know. What up, man? It's been a while. It's been a minute. Your boy Ricky Rick has something to talk about. I want to talk to you guys about the new Saw movie that just hit theaters this past weekend. And that movie is called Saw Spiral from the Book of Saw. Saw Spiral from the Book of Saw. Interesting title. Anyways, the movie got a release date of 5/13/2021. I went to go see this movie 2 days after its release. I've been wanting to see this. It's the 9th movie in the franchise, but it is the very first movie from the chronicle order, from the past 8 movies. Like, all the other 8 movies were tied in together, and this one is a spin-off. It's in the same universe, but taking part in a different section of the Jigsaw world, Jigsaw universe, the legendary killer Jigsaw. So we also have a returning director, Darren Lynn Bousman, who directed Saw 2, Saw 3, and Saw 4. And I gotta say, this movie, for me personally, this movie has like a different tone, a different vibe. Another thing that is different about this movie, the star power in this film. Just with our main leads, you have Chris Rock, who you guys might know as a stand-up comedian. Maybe you might know him in other movies like Grown Ups. This guy has always been a part of the comedy side. I believe this is his first major role as a serious type of role, because Saw and Jigsaw is more like a serious tone, horror, scary environment, involving a psychopath, involving a killer versus police officers. So they're both very serious because they got to be serious about what they're doing. One's trying to kill people, the other person is trying to save people's lives, so it's a different tone for Chris Rock. But I love to see him do more, just because I feel like people are always judging other people based on what they see, what they know, but there's more to someone besides what we get. You can't always judge the book by its cover because it has more layers. Not every book is going to be the same thing. Not every book talks about the same thing. Not every game in a sports world, is the same as the previous one. People make mistakes, people learn from them, people grow, people get better, stronger. Chemistry. The other person I'm very happy and excited to see involved in this Saw world is Samuel L. Jackson. When you think of Samuel L. Jackson, just seeing him cuss, just hearing him cuss. When the trailer dropped for Saw Spiral and I saw Samuel L. Jackson in it, I was like, whoa, that's a perfect casting choice for this film. And you put Samuel L. Jackson in a Saw movie where he has to get himself out of traps and you hear him cussing, like, that movie sells itself. I'm just saying. Once again, I want to talk about Chris Rock because it's thanks to him the reason why this movie got made, because he went to Lionsgate, had an idea, presented that idea. Lionsgate heard it, loved it, told him, hey, we'll make your movie, but you got to star in it. And here we are today. The movie is out. We have some upcoming actors that I'm not familiar with, but some of you guys might know. Marisol Nichols, who plays Captain Angie in this movie. I done a little digging and I heard that she's a part of Riverdale. I don't know what she plays in that show. I don't watch Riverdale, but for those that do, I know it is a big show and a lot of people seem to like it. Max McGillhale, I hope I'm saying that. He plays Detective William, who is Chris Rock's partner in this movie. And with those four names right there is all you need to know. Chris Rock's character is named Zeke Banks, and Samuel L. Jackson is playing Zeke's father, Marcus. And I gotta say, the story was interesting. The plot itself was interesting. The plot, I can see this being a different movie, a different film. I can see it being its own thing away from the Saw franchise. Because sometimes when I was watching this movie, it didn't feel like a Saw movie. It kind of felt like another movie until they added the whole killer environment, the whole trap scenes, and the whole, play the tape, stuff like that. So, we have a different kind of puppet. We didn't have Tom Bell come back playing Jigsaw. So there was a lot of things different about this Spiral. So it's a spinoff. We're talking about another copycat who is attacking this Pacific detective area, and there's a reason why. I don't want to give it out. I definitely recommend people to go watch it. I grew up in an era where we had Chucky, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason. So I grew up watching horror movies. You even had the Leprechaun, you had the Gremlins, the Goonies. I grew up like in that time where, you know, it was a good time to be alive. Music was good, movies were good. A lot of great legends and things were made around the time I was born. You had Star Wars, you had Indiana Jones, you had the Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man. A lot of cool things coming out. Yeah, Power Rangers. So where I'm trying to go with this is that I grew up in an era where horror was at the top of its game, and for the longest time it was dead. And it wasn't until James Wan, I was gonna say James Gunn, but James Wan came into the picture, put out Saw, put out The Conjuring, put out Insidious, and deliver back-to-back horror movies that became franchise, spin-off to sequels, spin-offs, you name it. Annabelle. We got The Conjuring 3 coming out later this year. We also have Insidious, another Insidious coming out. I believe Insidious, I think it is 5. So, a lot of things in the work, and it's all thanks to one man who brought that to life. Now, James Wan, was a part of the first movie. The first movie is a classic. Definitely recommend it. Now, for those who haven't seen the previous 8 films, you don't have to go see those movies to get this movie. You can this could be your first movie you're watching the Saw franchise, and you'll be fine because it's something new. They're bringing a different flavor. The thing that makes Saw different as well in this movie is Chris Rock, because you can actually see what Chris Rock brought into the movie by adding a little sense of humor, adding a little comedy, and the endings. Things about Saw. I'm so big in this franchise. I love it because, like I said, I grew up in an era where, like I said, Chucky, Michael Myers, Jason, the Leprechaun, all these villains, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I grew up in horror and just like all these things that used to scare me as a little kid. I enjoyed. And the thing I love about the Saw franchise is not only someone new, somebody where the films were all connected, because in the first film you had a lot of role. You had your main key characters, and then you had little supporting characters that eventually went from B characters to A characters because they either got a bigger role in their second film, third film, fourth film. And that's something that I love about the Saw franchise, is that everything was connected. It was kind of like the Marvel Universe before the Marvel Universe, because everything was connected. This person knew this person, so that's how they got reconnected, So I love what the Saw franchise did, because it's kind of hard, and you don't really see that too much. And when I watch a movie, I like to, you know, connect the dots. You know, sometimes like you watch a franchise and you go see the first movie and you really like what you saw in the first movie, and then you expect to see in the sequel, if there happens to be one, the same thing you got in the first one, but better or bigger. And sometimes you don't get that because people try something new, different, and then they end up messing it up. But you can't talk about Saw without talking about the traps. That's the other thing I love about this movie or this franchise is the traps, you know, because that's another thing that gets you hooked into these movies. Like the people who get put into these games about whether they want to live or die because they're doing something bad, maybe doing something they weren't supposed to, and now they get a chance to redeem themselves by being in this game, and it's up to them to help themselves. And some of these people that don't get out, you know, or I should say a lot of these people that don't get out, the traps that they get put into are crazy bananas. Like, I don't know, like I had thoughts of like, you know, people that do crazy things in this world. Like I wouldn't be surprised if somebody will sink to this level and do these things. So I like that. But the fact that we get in a film and no one actually gets hurt, cool. But actually happening in real life, not so cool. But you know, I'm already 9 movies in. I'm invested. I love this franchise. And there is a rumor already of a Saw X. So Saw 10 is happening. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait. You know, I would love to see a movie where Dr. Gordon comes back. I know we already got that with Saw 3D, the final chapter. But I would love to see Dr. Gordon come back and be like, you know what, all these copycats that want to come out after what Tom Bell did with Jigsaw in the first franchise, the first saga. Just pretty much take everybody out and be like, you know what? There can only be one Jigsaw, and that's the original, the man himself. But yeah, I love this film. I definitely recommend that you guys check it out. If you guys are into the Saw movies, I think anybody who's seen Saw 1, 2, and 3, I think this is definitely right up there with those movies. If I had to rate them, you know, because I don't really remember which one's which, I gotta go back, but I know after 3 kind of like went downhill for some people. Me, I love them all. I know for a fact, just from the top of my head, Saw is number 1. Saw 2 is one that I can always watch back. Saw 3 is another of my favorite. This Spiral movie, like I said, is way up there. I think Saw 5 is another one that I really enjoy a lot. I will put 6. The final chapter, and then 4. I think 4 was my least favorite. But yeah, that's my rating on those movies. Oh yeah, before I'll put Jigsaw after Saw 4. So yeah, Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw 3, Spiral, Saw 5, Saw 6. No. Saw 5, and then the final chapter, then Saw 6, then Jigsaw, and then Saw 4. That's my ranking. Other than that, I'm going to let you guys go because it's already been 13 minutes and 45 seconds. And if you love these videos, give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you guys like the Saw franchise. If you guys want to see me talk about more of the movies that I love and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe. All those good things. As always, if I'm not making you laugh, not making you smile, not keeping you entertained, your boy Ricky Rick ain't doing his job, and you already know your boy Ricky Rick does his job. Until next time, your boy Ricky Rick is out of here, people. Saw Spiral. Go watch it.